We are going to begin. I hope you are ready. We are going to continue by doing reservations, but previous sessions were recorded. You can actually find them on the channel and you can catch up on the previous sessions. For today, we are going to do reservations, right? So without wasting time, guys, let's go to live notes and then let's scroll down to we did we did a regulatory signs last time. I mean prohibition signs. Now today is time that we do a reservation signs, which is a important subjects. You get a lot of questions from the traffic department on these specific signs, on reservation signs. And yeah, I'm just waiting. We are just going to begin shortly at around about 2 minutes past 8. Let's see how many people we are going to get. As soon as we get to 20, I mean to 10 people, we will begin the session. The others will catch up. The others will catch up. There'll obviously be a recording. They will need to catch up on the recording. We won't be leaving them behind. I'm just looking for, okay. So we are doing 3.4 reservation signs. And yeah, I'll just be taking you through these reservation signs. I'll just be taking you through these reservations. I'm just searching for YouTube. Okay, there we go. Installed. Should I update YouTube? I think it needs an update. Then, guys, let's begin. At 3.4, our first reservation sign is a bus reservation sign. There it is with the bus at the top and the R at the bottom. It's a bus reservation and a bus parking. The parking with the P, the reservation with the R. Where is it found? It's found at an entrance of a carriageway or a lane or a parking area. And the purpose is to indicate that part of the road or carriageway is reserved for buses only, and that only buses may park in the area indicated in sign R301. So only buses may park in that area where you see there is a reservation. So the action you must take when you see that sign is that you do not enter such a parking area. And then we have a lane reservation. We need to distinguish between a lane reservation and a parking reservation. This here, this at the top is a parking reservation, and then this here at the bottom is a lane reservation. You can see these look alike. They look alike if you look at them, but the difference is bus lane reservation and a begin bus lane reservation. I will explain shortly. This is a bus lane reservation, is distinguished by these yellow lines. These yellow lines that are going straight, that are at the yellow corner coming up or down. As you can see here are these lines that I'm talking about. When you see these signs, they are in indication that we are speaking about a lane, right? When you see this sign, it's a bus lane reservation. How do you spot it? You spot it with these signs. You spot it with these signs. Once you see these lines, you know that this is a what? It's a lane reservation. But if it doesn't have line, it's a parking reservation. If it has these lines, it's a lane reservation. But let me distinguish between the two. This, as you can see, this is just going down and it ends somewhere here. these broken lines, yellow lines, they end somewhere here. But this is a begin bus lane reservation. This is a begin bus lane reservation, which means this is where this bus lane reservation begins. It is these broken lines, and they make an angle as they reach the bottom right corner. They make an angle. Once they make that angle, it's a bus lane begin reservation. It's a bus lane begin reservation. Once it makes that angle at the corner, it's a bus lane begin reservation. Once it makes that angle, and let's read some more. On any day, particularly in urban areas, that is where you find these lanes reservation, and the purpose sign R302 and TR302 indicate that no other class of vehicle may use that part of the road. And signs 303 and T303 where the reserved traffic lane which only buses may enter or start. So which means it's only buses that can start on this lane. At the start of this lane where this sign is displayed, it's only buses that may start on this lane. So I hope you can now distinguish between a parking reservation and a lane reservation. They are distinguished by those broken lines at the right hand side. And then we have a do not follow. The action you must take: do not follow this bus route if you are not driving a bus. And then we have a pedal cycle lane reservation. How do we know it's a lane reservation? We see it with those lines at the right hand side. And then this is a sign for parking. This is a sign for parking and limited parking sign, the right at the bottom, and is found on any road where they are parking bays, where parking bays are demarcated, and the action to be taken in park in accordance to the road traffic sign. If there are limitations, do not exceed the time that you have been provided with parking. And this is a motorcycle reservation and a motorcycle parking, right? They are found on any road in any road entrance. And yes, if you are not driving a motorcycle, you do not park on that lane. And then we carry on to page number 2. This one is quite long, but we will go as quickly as possible. This is a motor car. On the left side we have reservation, on the right side we have parking. And then this is the temporary version of it. Once you see the yellow kind of it, this is a temporary reservation. Therefore, this is a what? A motor car reservation and a motor car parking. Motor car reservation and motor car parking. And this is a taxi reservation and a taxi parking only. And this is a minibus reservation and minibus parking, multibus reservation, multibus parking, a delivery vehicle reservation, delivery vehicle parking, goods vehicle reservation and goods vehicle parking, a good vehicle over the indicated gross mass of 10 tons, parking vehicles that have a minimum size of 10 tons and more have this part of the reservation. And this is a construction vehicle reservation, and this is a vehicle conveying dangerous hazard with the reservation and parking. And this is an abnormal vehicle parking and reservation, and this is a rickshaw parking and reservation, and this is a high occupancy a vehicle parking and reservation. Right, let's move on to the next part of this. And this is an ambulance reservation and parking, and this is a disabled persons reservation, parking and reservation, and this is a authorized vehicle or diplomatic corps reservation and parking. And this is a minibus reservation, and this is a minibus and bus or bus and minibus lane reservation, and this is a bus and minibus begins lane reservation. Remember, if it has that angle at the bottom corner of the at the bottom right corner, it's a begins lanes reservation. And this is a bus and minibus reservation. And then we have a bus minibus lane reservation. We see it with those dotted lines. And this is a bus and minibus lane begins reservation. And we have a bus minibus and minibus lane reservation and parking, and this is a bus minibus and bus lane reservation, and this is a bus minibus and minibus lane reservation. A lane begins reservation. Yeah, that is okay. Let's move to the next one. We are still on a high. And once you see a sign like this is a bus stop reservation. It's a bus stop reservation. And I want you to listen carefully. As you can see, there's a bus here, right? There's an indication of a bus and the one and the two and a logo. So here is supposed to be a logo of a particular company. So I want you to listen very carefully because it will appear on your exams. The purpose of this sign is to allow minibuses to take up and to drop off passengers. Such a vehicle must display the appropriate emblem, logo, or any other indication that they are minibuses. Do not stop or to take passengers or drop off if you are not driving a minibus of the organization indicated by the logo. So this has to be for a bus. This is a bus, a stop, a pick up and drop off bus stop for a company, for a bus company belonging to a certain organization. That's how we are going to approach this. And this is a minibus minibus stop reservation is to allow minibuses to take and to pick up and to drop off passengers, and such a vehicle must display the appropriate emblem, logo, and any other indication, and do not take or to drop off passengers off if you are not driving the minibus in this particular area. And then we start comprehensive signs. This is a carriage way, dual carriage freeway begins. Dual carriage fairway is found at the beginning of a dual carriageway freeway. Purpose is to indicate that a freeway begins at the sign and that the rules that apply to freeways are effective from there. And then this is a single carriageway freeway begins, is found a single carriageway, and the purpose is to indicate that a single carriageway freeway begins at the sign and the rules that apply to freeways are effective. And this is a VUNEF or a residential area, in other words, and the purpose is to prohibit all vehicles with a mass exceeding 0.5 kg or vehicles which have more than 10 seats except for local access and delivery. And you must yield right of way to pedestrians and to prohibit vehicles from driving the area without breaking their journey. And the purpose is to limit the speed in the area to 30 kilometers an hour, and you need to drive slowly and to obey rules mentioned above, and to be particularly be on the lookout for children on the street. And that is the end of our lesson on reservations. Let's see if we cannot push another chapter. Let's see if we cannot push another chapter. Let's go to restrictions. let's go to restrictions, and these are okay. So I think, guys, we can call it a day. We can call it one to go through a lot of these concepts. We can just pick it up again. We can pick up the session again on Monday. On Monday at 8, we can pick up the session. Right now, we'll just share the recording. We'll share the recording. Evening, Koki and Michael. Hello. I think we are good for now. At least we have covered reservations, and from next week we will continue with the other parts of the course. You will have this recording. I will make it available. You will have the recording. Let me end the session for now.